Hi, this is a Jing to explain week 7. Briefly, you're going to be reading chapter 12. You're going to meet some new group members. It will be really an actually new group for you with some different members than previously. And in your whole number computation group, you're going to be looking at a teacher's manual online and compare that with our textbook, especially with chapter 12. You're going to identify some student-invented strategies for operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And you're going to create a chart identifying invented student strategies versus traditional algorithms. And then I have some information for assignments for this week and for next week. So let's click on this folder for week 7. And again, don't forget you need to read chapter 12, but this is the wiki that you'll do for your group. Now, when I click on it, of course, because I'm the administrator, it comes up with all 3 groups, but then you click on the one group that comes up for you, and you'll see who your members are, and then you will also see how to click on the wiki. The next item on the list is the activity for the Grade 3 Instructor's Manual. Now, using the group whole number computation wiki, which is up here, I want you to compare information in the textbook with information offered in this 3rd grade teacher's manual. So peruse the manual, get to know it a little bit, and then see where you will see comparisons, differences, and also similarities. And as a group, you are to write instructional comparisons between your textbook and the teacher's manual. Now, you write this all on one page. This is not individual pages for each group member. This is one page. And you will need, as a group, to edit the page and have at least 6 comparisons listed on the page. Make sure that you've added information to the page and have edited others' contributions in the extent of a polished wiki page. The next activity is to identify some student-invented strategies for the various operations. Again, you're going to use your whole number computation wiki, but you're going to now, each individual member of the group will write on one page. The first member of the group in the list, and if you look at the list, you'll see who's first and second, third, and fourth, and in some cases fifth. I think in all cases fifth. You'll have the first person will look for a student-invented strategy for the operation of addition. The second person on the list in the group will look for a student-invented strategy for subtraction. The third member will look for multiplication, and you still want a student-invented strategy. And the fourth person will do a student-invented strategy for division. The fifth person will then select any of those operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, and you will look for a traditional algorithm. Now, this is all in chapter 12, so you should be able to find this fairly easy, but I want you to study this a little bit so you have a good understanding of student-invented strategies, which I feel are really important, versus traditional algorithms, which is the way we've been taught. I'm sure you were taught that way, and I know I was taught that way. So I want you to write a description of the strategy as described in the textbook on your own new page in your group's whole number computation wiki, and then go back to each of your members' pages and write a comment for them. So I want you to read what they wrote and then make a comment. So you'll be writing on 4 of your group members' pages, not on yours, of course. The third activity I want you to do is to look at the differences between invented strategies versus traditional algorithms, and I want you to create a chart depicting the differences between the two. You can either cut and paste this information onto your math journal, or you can link it to your math journal, whichever way you want. Again, these are 3 activities that you don't necessarily get a grade for, but you do get a participation grade. That ends the activities for this week. I have also included 2 assignments here. The article review assignment is due this week. And what I need you to do is select a scholarly or peer-reviewed, as we call it, article from the Laverne Library database. And I want you, that deals specifically with math instruction. I don't want it to be an article about a lesson plan, but I want it about math instruction. And it could be on any topic in math, something that interests you, and I want you to write a review of the article. You're then to link the article to the article review wiki and attached your review written in a Word document to the wiki. Now you're not going to cut and paste that. Now you need to make sure you write your opinion of this article, because that's what article review is all about. And don't forget to use the criteria and the rubric to complete the review. Now inside this folder, if I click on this folder, you will see that here is the rubric. And I do want to point something out, because I've used this rubric for other assignments. The first criteria may not make sense to you, and really what I just want to tell you about it right here, it says an electronic response to article reviews. Really what I want you to do is make sure that you have linked your article, so that when I click on the article, it takes me to your article, and I make sure that you have a link to your review. I know there are some other things here, but you don't need to pertain yourself to that. Again, I have used this previously, and I just need to really update that, and haven't done that yet, but I want to clarify. All the other criteria here are things that you do certainly need to make sure you include in your review to get the topmost grade you might want. If I go back to this, also in this folder is the wiki, that link that will take you to the article review wiki. This assignment is due this week, and you'll need to do that as soon before or after or during the time you're working on the activities for this week. Your children's literature and math lesson is due next week, not this week that you're working on now, which is week 7. It's really due week 8. And I put an exemplar of one of the students, and she made a PowerPoint out of her book, and that's what I want you to do, so we're going to be able to read those. And then she also added her math lesson plan, and then she wrote made a jing of talking a little bit about her book and talking about her lesson plan. And this is one way you can do this. I do want you to make sure that you put your book, your children's literature, in a PowerPoint presentation. I do want your lesson plan attached, linked to this Blackboard, and I also want it to be a jing made explaining your lesson plan and how you have integrated this children's literature into your math lesson. Now, you don't have to have necessarily a math children's literature book. It can be another children's literature book that you can apply to a math lesson. That would be fine as well. And what I'll try to do this week is add some more exemplars so you have a better handle on what is expected from you. There is also the rubric here, and I would advise you to click on there to check the rubric. Something that people always miss, because you don't do this in all your lesson plan. I'm asking you to put a summary of the book someplace in your lesson plan, either at the end or over on the side or at the beginning. That way, if you decide to use this lesson someday down the road and you think, oh, I forgot about that children's book, I wonder what it's all about, it's right there in your lesson plan. And so I want you to make sure that you do that. You don't get all the points if you don't. This pretty much explains this week and the 2 assignments, this week's assignment and next week's assignment. I hope it's a better understanding from just reading the week, and I look forward to seeing you online.